Oh no, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Buying, selling, buying. Don't worry, this is gonna fix the country. Thank you. Yep, great job. All right, hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. It's time for Let's Argue, where I hop on the internet, I take your hot takes, your unpopular opinions, your tough questions. I respond to the ones that don't make me want to puke and then swallow my puke because I don't think I could puke on camera. Is that TOS? This is a no puke video. Only hot takes and hot take responses in this video. No puke whatsoever. About 96% of the responses to this question will not be controversial or unpopular in the slightest. That's literally this comment. You just did the thing. That's you. You're doing the thing you're accusing everyone else of doing. You're far from the first person to point this out. You are not being original or edgy or interesting or different than the other girls by doing this. Please stop making this comment. Because if there's anything more unoriginal than being unoriginal, it's sitting there and just being like, oh, everything's so unoriginal now. When in fact there are lots of original takes. Point one out. Point out an original take. Come up with one. You could do it. I believe in you. Spotify not allowing albums to be played in order on the free version is a crime against artists and music in general. Yeah, I agree. I would say so. Especially since like they're getting paid for those streams anyway, and they're running ads on them. Why not be able to play them in order? You could play albums and songs in order on friggin' YouTube, and YouTube pays artists garbage. What is Spotify doing that makes it think it's so damn special? It could be like, oh, in the free version, you can't even play this shit in order. That's messed up. That's stupid. How about this? Incentivize paying for a subscription by telling music fans that artists are going to get paid more if they get a damn subscription. Careless Whisper was over-memed to mockery and is genuinely one of the best songs ever made. The lyrics are so profoundly grief-stricken, the chord progressions consist of such melodies that when paired with the sorrowful vocals of George Michael, write nothing short of a tragic and regretful performance. I don't disagree. And you know what, honestly, as a millennial, I will take ownership of this and will apologize on behalf of the millennial community. I do think it is millennials' fault that that song was kind of turned into the joke and internet meme that it was. This is something that we cannot lay at the feet of the Gen Xers, of the Zoomers, of the Alphas. That was us. That was our doing. We shouldn't have made it a joke. We shouldn't have thought it was funny. In fact, it wasn't really funny. It's a really great melody. Why are we just like playing it in random places for a hee and a ha? What are we doing? Like, the song is great. Perform the song all you want, but like just throwing it in places randomly, just being, oh wow, like the only sax lead that I know by heart. Yep, I didn't expect to hear that here. That's funny to not expect that, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that's millennial humor for you. Play an instrument in a place where people don't think there's going to be an instrument.
Funny.
When honestly, live performance, just music everywhere, that should be normalized. Art everywhere, and not as a joke. That's what I say. Purple is by far the best color. It's not too bright and saturated, but it's also very vibrant and pretty. Not to mention, it's also a combination of the two signature cool and warm colors, red and blue. It's literally the perfect color. Yeah, I suppose it's the best of both worlds. Yeah, not enough people standing up for purple, in my opinion. I think a lot of people are just like kind of going for very hot and wild and silly and zany colors these days. That is when they're not, embracing bland millennial grays and taupes. I don't know what it is with my generation. Like, everything's got to be fucking an earth tone and everything fucking gray. It's stupid and gross and disgusting and uninspired and soulless. It completely boggles my mind. We are the generation of kids that grew up with crazy McDonald's play places and like ball pits and shit like that. And then decades later, you go into our houses or apartments and it's all just like minimal 2-3 earth tone IKEA bullshit. Plus, on top of it, purple was the trademark color of one of the greatest pop artists of all time, and that is Prince. I feel like for Prince to gravitate toward purple, that's got to be a sign of it being a really great color. Country music that has never been on the radio is just better. I don't know what you're saying and by what metric that works, especially when you take into account like the world of left field and college radio that's out there in the world. For the most part, when it comes to just strictly commercial radio, the vast majority of what you hear out there on the country airwaves, like a lot of airwaves around many popular genres, is just kind of trash. It's the most lowest common denominator, easily digestible crap. The radio industry, unfortunately, as far as music is concerned, has really been like hollowed out, brought to its lowest and most soulless point, which is part of why the internet became such an interesting place to discover music, or at least for a time it was. I feel like we are slowly kind of like going back in that direction through the new gatekeepers being the streaming platforms and algorithms and so on and so forth. You know, we're not quite there yet, but let's continue forward and see if we get there and we end up in a place where just culturally it's hell. It's pure hell. Frank Zappa had the best mustache in the business. That's why his music is so good. More artists need to follow his mustache precedent. And this had 448 likes and 12 comments. Yeah, everybody turning up in the comment section like, oh, you know what? This is the take the music community needs to hear. Yeah, this is the discourse that the music community needs to be engaging in right now. This is what's moving the needle for me. I mean, with that being said, Frank Zappa's trademark facial hair was not just simply a mustache. It was like a mustache soul patch kind of, goatee type combo. You really can't forget the bottom part of it too. But with that being said, I do agree. Iconic mustache, much like my iconic Pizza Hut logo mustache that we typically get for 6 months. But that's gone now. It's gone and dead. My mustache is gone. This was supposed to be about Frank Zappa's mustache. I've always loved Serge Tankian's sort of mustache, kind of short to mid length, sort of like straight beard combo. It's always been good. It's always a trusty facial hair example. Also, the thin Prince mustache, I must say, has always been great. Always been loving the thin Prince mustache. Grocery store music be hitting sometimes. No, I agree, especially as of late. I mean, you gotta be off season. You can't be in the midst of Christmas or any crap like that. I feel like almost no matter where you are, the Christmas music is pretty disappointing. I think like the other week I was in the grocery store and they were playing like 1975. Oh, Caroline. Which, now that I think about it, I'm not quite sure if that's like proof of grocery store playlists getting cooler or maybe my taste getting whacker and like more yuppie. Maybe it's the latter. Frailty by Jane Remover is one of the most influential electronic albums to come out in the past 5 years. A few people actually realize how many artists owe a lot to that album. I sort of see what you're saying in terms of it being kind of ahead of the curve, not just in respect of it being like an electronic music album. I feel like labeling it simply as that is kind of underselling the record, honestly, and is just not really being descriptive enough about it. Because like there are a lot of influences coming from pop and rock music as well on that record. I mean, it was definitely like of a time where you had a lot of very cool internet-based pop and rock projects that just felt very terminally online, cropping up, getting kind of hot in the social media space. Underscores as well, I would sort of like list as an example of an artist who, kind of came up in a similar way. With that being said, since then, Jane Remover, I think, has moved on to different sounds and ideas, especially on this latest LP, which I think is just a testament to what makes Jane Remover so interesting. And honestly, given the reception of Revenge Seekers so far, I think there's even better potential for the music on this record to hit even harder culturally, commercially, and inspire an even greater amount of music fans and artists. Potential wonders for the alternative scene. You guys are the best. Love you. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano. Argue forever.